Starting this ethics class, I was going in with the idea that everything was black and white, that something was either morally right or morally wrong. I never took time to think about why or how I believed what I did. And one thing that this class taught me was that in order to do that, you need to take a look at moral dilemmas in history. Moral dilemmas like these examples of racism from the 1960s. When we see examples like these, we ask ourselves, how did we allow this? Didn't we question it? Didn't we realize right from wrong? And in order to answer those questions, we have to look at what moral philosophy tells us about ethics. If we look at Plato's allegory of the cave, we can begin to draw some conclusions and some similarities to today's current society. I learned that the overreaching theme is that societal change is difficult. The prisoner that escaped, that crawled to the mouth of the cave to be showered in light and ultimately truth, when he went back to tell his fellow prisoners about the truth that he just learned, he was ridiculed. His ideas were not accepted even though they were the truth. And that is something that still happens today. There was always someone above us, an authority much like the government. People think that they can fly above the rest of us, the ones, quote, controlled, or, as Plato has it, the ones that they keep in chains. The government controls the military and has huge influence over the media. And that gives them the ability to heavily influence our minds. The government, in that case, are the shackles that hold us against the cave walls, and the media are the shadows of the cave. But if we become free thinkers and see the world as it really is, that is the only way that we can reach true enlightenment for ourselves. We can begin to form free and independent thought and opinion, which is rare in today's current society. However, the famous philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche, if he was still alive, he would like to see the world in which everyone becomes free thinkers to draw independent thought and personal opinion. He truly valued strong morals and thought that everyone should make decisions in order to become the Übermensch, the moral Superman, the one who is law only until himself. The idea that you are so psychologically strong that you can decide whether something is meaningful to you, instead of getting handed down your morals from religion or from the media or from even your parents. By studying Nietzsche, I realized the value of forming strong personal opinion, and I have turned to the Dalai Lama to see how strong moral values can lead to a fulfilled life. The main takeaways that I learned from studying the Dalai Lama is that everything is interdependent in one way, shape, or form. The belief of karma, that your actions today will affect your future fate, is preached by the Dalai Lama. He says that you should place friendliness and compassion on your moral priority list, not because it makes the world a better place, but it'll also lead to better mental and physical health for yourself. However, one more important moral philosophy is by Immanuel Kant. He gave the idea of deontological moral theory and the categorical imperative that says that right and wrong does not depend on consequences, but whether they fulfill their moral duty. He believes in supreme moral principle. He thinks that it is never okay to lie, that it's never okay to cheat, and it's never okay to kill, under any circumstances. These are moral absolutes. Unlike some of the other moral theories that we learned, Kant's theory doesn't judge actions by the results, whether that action was right or wrong. In learning about these moral philosophers and the different moral theories, we can begin to answer the question, what is moral courage? Moral courage to me is someone in his 60s standing up for human rights even though there will be social repercussions. If you've arrived at your moral code by the way of free thought and free thinking, then you should never let anyone tell you otherwise. In the words of John Wayne, courage is being scared to death and saddling up anyways. Thank you.